Three buffalo symbols line up. The fourth one lands. A perfect sequence. Then the fifth. Free spins are triggered. The bonus multipliers start stacking up, higher and higher. That electric, exhilarating feeling when every element suddenly clicks into place. Savvy players understand that this feeling isn't a matter of pure chance. They are actively employing updated, cutting-edge strategies, tactics that casinos would much rather keep hidden from the average visitor. And what these disciplined players are executing in 2024 is completely reshaping the landscape of slot gaming. Behind every significant slot machine victory, there is a discernible pattern. It's not about luck nor superstition. It's about deploying real, calculated, tactical moves designed to secure a consistent edge. In this video, you are going to discover the exact high percentage techniques that experienced slot players use to walk away as winners far more frequently. These techniques revolve around mastering your session timing, maximizing the potential of bonus features, expertly reading machine behavior, and strategically stretching your bankroll to last twice as long as the typical player. Whether you frequent your neighborhood casino once a month or you're meticulously planning a highly anticipated weekend trip to Las Vegas, these refined strategies could easily be the pivotal difference between walking away with your pockets full or leaving empty-handed. So, I have a quick question for you right now. When you step onto the casino floor, do you operate with a concrete plan, or are you just improvising? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. I am genuinely curious to see how many of you are playing with a structured strategy versus those who are flying blind. Now, let's dive straight into the crucial actions smart players are taking that you are probably overlooking. The session timing secret. Let's discuss a critical element most players completely disregard: timing. I'm not talking about the time of day, nor searching for mythical lucky hours. I am referring specifically to session timing, and this is one of the biggest factors that separates consistent winners from inevitable losers. Smart players approach every single casino visit like a professional boxing match. You wouldn't throw haymakers nonstop for 12 rounds. You pace yourself meticulously. You must possess a strategy. Here's what veteran ex-casino staff have consistently observed after watching thousands of patrons over many years. The individuals who win more often are not those who play for the longest duration. They are the ones who play far smarter in intense, shorter bursts. The 45-minute rule. Here is the operational blueprint. Set a timer on your phone for precisely 45 minutes, the moment your session begins. When that timer signals the end, you stand up. Absolutely no exceptions are allowed. You must take a mandated 10 to 15-minute break. Walk around the floor, hydrate, check messages. Do anything that actively prevents you from continuing to feed the machine. Why is this discipline so effective? There are three core reasons. First, it shatters the trance. Slot machines are meticulously engineered to induce a hypnotic state. The synchronized lights, the constant sounds, the rhythmic spin of the reels. After 30 or 40 minutes, your cognitive functions degrade, your brain enters autopilot, and you cease making rational decisions. The structured break forces you back into conscious awareness. Second, it compels you to evaluate. During that mandatory break, you are forced to ask yourself critical, honest questions. Am I currently ahead or behind? How does my remaining bankroll look? Is this specific machine actually paying out anything significant? Should I relocate to a different area of the floor? These are crucial, objective questions you never ask yourself when you're deep in the zone. Third, it completely resets your emotions. When you are suffering through a losing streak, frustration quickly builds into desperation. Conversely, when you are winning, unrestrained greed takes over. That 15-minute cool-down period brings you back to a neutral, rational baseline. You return to the floor with a clear head, prepared to make calculated choices again. Former floor managers often reported they could unfailingly spot the players who were on the verge of losing everything. They would remain seated at one machine for 2, 3, or even 4 consecutive hours without moving, totally locked in, exhibiting tunnel vision. By hour 2, they were no longer engaging in thoughtful play. They were simply pressing the button repeatedly, hoping for a miraculous recovery to break even. That is precisely the moment the machine successfully gets its hooks into you. There was a regular player named Jennifer who absorbed this lesson the hard way. She habitually came in every Friday evening, found her preferred Lightning Link machine, and played nonstop for 5 hours straight. Some nights she'd win, but the majority of nights she would lose. Yet she never once incorporated breaks. One night, a seasoned floor supervisor who had 15 years in the casino industry pulled her aside during a shift change and offered her confidential advice. He introduced her to the 45-minute rule. Jennifer was highly skeptical, but she agreed to try it the following week. She set the timer, played for 45 minutes, took a break, played another 45 minutes, and took another break. That night, she walked away up $340. Why? Because during her second break, she objectively realized that her initial machine had gone ice cold. Instead of stubbornly grinding through the dry spell, which was her usual habit, she relocated to a different section and found a machine that was actively paying. That simple decision, made possible only by the structured break, completely altered the outcome of her entire evening. Here is a challenge for you. The next time you visit the casino, commit to trying the 45-minute rule for just one session. Only one. Set that timer and rigorously honor it when it goes off. Then come back here and comment below. Did it prove helpful? Did you notice yourself making better, more strategic decisions? I am genuinely curious about how many of you can stick to this discipline. Bankroll splitting strategy. Now, let's discuss money management, because this is the critical area where most casual players go completely wrong. They arrive with $200, sit down at the first machine they see, and simply play until all the money is gone. No plan, zero structure. That is not strategic gambling. That is essentially donating money to the casino. Smart players utilize what is known as the Four-Pocket Method. Before you even set foot inside the casino, you systematically divide your entire bankroll into 4 strictly equal parts. For example, if you brought $200, you now have 4 separate $50 sessions. Crucially, each 50 must be stored in a separate pocket, envelope, or wallet compartment, physically and psychologically separated from the others. Session 1 begins with the first $50. That is your entire allocated budget for that round of play. You continue playing until one of 3 predetermined outcomes occurs. You successfully double it, you lose the entire amount, or you hit your 45-minute timer, whichever event happens first. That session is immediately terminated. If you successfully double your $50 stake to $100, you immediately pocket the original $50 and are free to continue playing only with the $50 profit. You are now playing entirely with house money. That original $50 is secured. It absolutely cannot be touched again. If you burn through the $50 profit, fine. You walk away even for that session. No financial harm done. If you lose the $50 stake, you take your break. Do not, under any circumstances, reach for the second $50 yet. Take your 15-minute break first. Walk around. Reset your mindset. Then, and only then, if you still feel compelled to play, you start session 2 with a second $50. The same structured rules apply. Here is what former casino hosts observed about players who consistently used this method. They stayed in the casino for much longer periods because they weren't burning through their entire bankroll in one continuous sitting. But more importantly, they walked away winners more often because they weren't desperately chasing losses with their final dollar. The four-pocket method provides a powerful psychological benefit. It makes each session feel like a completely fresh start. You are not playing with your last $50 while agonizing over the $150 you already lost. You are playing with $50, period. That mental reset is immensely valuable. A player named Marcus figured this technique out independently after years of going bust at the casino. He is a construction worker who typically brings about $300 when he visits twice a month. He used to lose the entire amount in the first hour, then spent the rest of the night watching others play and kicking himself. One day, he made the deliberate decision to split his $300 into 6 $50 sessions. He played one session, lost the $50, took a break, played another, turned $50 into $140, pocketed $90, and kept playing with the $50 profit. By the end of the evening, he had successfully played all 6 sessions, secured 4 hours of pure entertainment, and walked away down only $60. Compare that outcome to his old method, where he would lose $300 in a single hour. The four-pocket method saved him $240 that night and delivered significantly more enjoyment. Quick question for everyone watching. How many of you have ever walked into a casino with a set budget and ended up pulling out more money from the on-site ATM? Be completely honest in the comments. We have all been there. The four-pocket method actively prevents that disastrous outcome. You cannot lose more than you brought because you have predetermined that is all you are willing to risk. The bonus round maximizer. Here is where, genuinely, smart players really distinguish themselves from the rest. Bonus rounds and free spins are your single biggest opportunities for massive wins, but the majority of people are playing them in a fundamentally incorrect way. First, let's discuss proper bet sizing when heading into a bonus. Some players mistakenly believe you should bet small and conserve your bankroll until you trigger a bonus. Then, when the bonus finally hits, you are stuck with a tiny bet multiplier and resulting tiny wins. That approach is entirely backwards. Smart players do the exact opposite. They first identify machines that are well known for frequent bonus triggers. Games like Buffalo, Lightning Link, or 88 Fortunes. These games are typically designed to hit their bonus features every 80 to 150 spins on average. Once you possess this knowledge, you strategically adjust your bet size specifically to maximize the value of those upcoming bonus rounds. Here is the technique. Start with a moderate bet. Not your maximum possible bet, but certainly not your minimum either. Let's say the machine allows bets ranging from 50 cents to 5. You would bet somewhere around $2 to $250. This is your scouting phase. You are playing 20 to 30 spins to accurately assess if the machine is offering any action at all. If you are consistently receiving frequent, small wins and the machine feels lively and responsive, you maintain that moderate bet level and patiently wait for the bonus to trigger. If you trigger a bonus at $2.50 per spin and land a decent multiplier, you could realistically walk away with $150 to $300 from that single bonus round. That alone constitutes a session winner. But here is the secret maneuver that experienced players utilize. After you trigger a lucrative bonus that delivers a significant payout, many players instinctively make the critical error of increasing their bet, assuming the machine is now hot. Do not fall for this trap. The machine has just dispensed a large sum. It is highly likely to tighten up for a period. Instead, the smart move is to immediately drop your bet back down. Go back to the minimum bet, or close to it, for the next 30 to 50 spins. Former slot technicians, who had directly serviced and calibrated these machines, confirm what observant players have long suspected. Following a major bonus payout, machines typically enter a prolonged dry spell. This isn't due to intentional programming. It is simply the natural, unavoidable ebb and flow of variance. The machine has just given away money, and it needs time to stabilize its payback percentage. So, you execute small bets during this dry spell, diligently preserving your bankroll. Then once you start noticing small wins beginning to return, you strategically bump your bet back up to that moderate level and position yourself optimally for the next bonus trigger. This deliberate cycle, this betting rhythm of betting higher during promising streaks and lower during cold streaks, is what allows smart players to remain in the game and profitable for extended periods. There is one additional point about bonus rounds that most people completely misunderstand. Re-triggers. Certain games, such as Buffalo and Dragon Link, allow you to re-trigger free spins during the bonus round itself. When you are deep in a bonus and you observe those scatter symbols starting to line up again, that is your golden opportunity to significantly extend the round and stack massive wins. Players who fully comprehend the power of re-triggers know to vigilantly watch for patterns. If the first 3 spins of your bonus round land 1 or 2 scatters, there is a heightened probability that more are imminent. The game is teasing you, building anticipation. Do not panic and do not mentally check out. Stay completely locked in. Those re-triggers are precisely where the genuinely massive wins materialize. There is a player named Robert who stumbled upon an interesting insight concerning re-triggers. He observed that on Buffalo specifically, when he would trigger free spins and secure at least 1 re-trigger within the first 5 spins, he usually ended up getting 2 or 3 subsequent re-triggers before the bonus concluded. So, he began diligently tracking this phenomenon over 50 different bonus rounds. He discovered that 80% of the time, if he achieved that early re-trigger, the bonus would extend significantly and pay out at least 100 times his triggering bet. Conversely, the bonuses that failed to re-trigger early almost invariably ended quickly with minor payouts. He started using this observation to expertly manage his bankroll expectations. When he triggered a bonus and observed that early re-trigger, he knew he was in for a good, high-value round, so he'd remain calm and let it fully play out. When a bonus began cold with no early re-triggers, he would mentally prepare for a small payout and appropriately adjust his expectations. This sophisticated mental game helped him avoid the debilitating emotional roller coaster that financially ruins most casual players. One more question for you all. What is the single biggest bonus round win you have ever achieved on a slot machine? Drop the amount and the game name in the comments. I want to compile data on what games are actually delivering big bonuses for people. Machine location intelligence. Let's talk about a strategic detail most players never even bother to consider: where the machine is physically located on the casino floor. This seemingly minor detail is far more important than you realize. Casinos are engineered like psychological mazes. Absolutely nothing is random. The placement of every single machine is meticulously strategic. They install certain types of machines in specific locations for well-defined reasons. And if you grasp this underlying design, you can exploit it to your significant advantage. First, actively avoid the machines situated directly near the main entrance. I'm referring to those loud, highly visible games placed only 10 feet from the doors. They serve one primary function: drawing attention. When a pedestrian walking by sees dazzling lights flashing and hears the rewarding sound of coins dropping, it psychologically compels them to enter and play. But here's the crucial catch. Those high-traffic entry machines are often configured to be some of the tightest on the entire floor. They do not need to pay out generously because they receive a constant, guaranteed stream of foot traffic. People sit down, play for 10 minutes, lose $40, and walk away. Then the next person sits down, and the cycle repeats all day long. Former casino management staff confirm this insight. Machines located near high-traffic areas, main walkways, and entrances are typically set to lower payout percentages. They label these billboard machines, whose job is visibility, not profitability. So, where should you strategically play? Smart players gravitate toward three specific key areas: the back corners, machines situated near the table games, and those close to the player's club desk or cashier cage. Allow me to elaborate on why each of these areas tends to house better paying machines. Back corners. These machines inherently receive less traffic because most casual players lack the motivation to walk all the way back there. The casino is aware of this, so they strategically place slightly looser machines in those spots to reward the players who make the effort. It's a subtle inducement, but it consistently works. Near the table games, casinos actively want slot players to hear the excitement generated by the table games, and vice versa. When someone at the blackjack table hears a slot machine hitting a huge bonus 20 feet away, it plants a suggestive seed. Perhaps they will try the slots later. Thus, casinos position some of their better paying slot machines near the table game areas to intentionally create that cross pollination of excitement. By the players' club, or cage. This location makes perfect sense when you analyze the psychology. When you are cashing out winnings or signing up for a player's card, the casino wants you to see and hear people actively winning nearby. It establishes a positive association. Oh, people are definitely winning here. This place pays out. Consequently, they position some of their friendlier machines in that specific high visibility area. One slot attendant who worked in casinos for over 15 years shared an interesting insight. She said, the machines located in the high limit area are almost always set to significantly better payback percentages than their penny slot cousins on the main floor. You do not necessarily have to play in the high limit room, but the area directly nearby often features better configured versions of popular games. Same game, much better pay table. She recalled a story about a regular player named Patricia who figured this strategy out independently. Patricia would stroll right past all the flashy machines near the entrance. She would head straight to the back corner near the high limit room. She'd find a dollar buffalo machine, play for an hour or two, and more often than not, she would walk away with a profit. Other players would frequently ask her what her secret was. She would simply smile knowingly and state, location, location, location. Next time you are in a casino, I want you to perform a simple experiment. Do not sit at the first machine that catches your eye. Take a full lap. Walk the entire floor. Observe where the concentrated crowds are located. Notice where the quieter, less trafficked areas are. Find a machine in one of those 3 designated sweet spots we just discussed and give it an honest try. Then report back in the comments. Did the strategic location make a discernible difference in your outcome? The volatility match. Here is a fundamental concept that trips up a huge number of players. They do not correctly understand volatility, and it relentlessly costs them money. Let me break this down in a highly practical way. Every slot machine has an assigned volatility level, low, medium, or high. Volatility dictates 2 things: how often the machine pays out and how large those payouts are. Low volatility machines pay out very frequently, but the wins are consistently small. High volatility machines pay out very rarely, but when they do hit, they hit massively. Most players choose the wrong volatility level for their current bankroll, and that is precisely why they go broke so quickly. If you arrive with a small $100 bankroll and you sit down at a high volatility machine, like a Wheel of Fortune or a progressive jackpot game, you are highly likely to burn through that $100 in 15 minutes without registering a single decent win. Why? Because high volatility games are specifically engineered for players with large bankrolls who can afford to wait through long, dry spells for that one colossal payout. On the flip side, if you arrive with a substantial $500 bankroll and you sit at a low volatility penny slot, sure, you will play for hours, but you are going to bleed money slowly. Those constant little 10-cent and 25-cent wins add up, but they never truly propel you ahead. You are merely prolonging the inevitable loss. Smart players precisely match their machine volatility to their bankroll size and their gaming goals. Here is a simple, actionable rule. Small bankroll, $100 or less. Play low volatility games. Games like Quick Hit, Double Diamond, or Classic 3 Reel Slots. These games will deliver lots of small, frequent wins, keeping you thoroughly entertained and extending your valuable playing time. Medium bankroll, $200 to $500. Play medium volatility games. Games like Buffalo, Lightning Link, or 88 Fortunes. These games provide an excellent balance. You will hit bonus rounds somewhat regularly, and when you do, they pay decent amounts. Not life-changing jackpots, but enough to keep you comfortably in the game and potentially walk away with a profit. Large bankroll, $500 or more. This is when you can financially afford to play high volatility games. Progressives like Megabucks, Wheel of Fortune, max bet games, or any game featuring enormous top prizes. You absolutely require a big bankroll to survive the long, unavoidable dry spells between major wins. But if you hit, you could realistically walk away with thousands. Former casino marketing managers state that one of the biggest mistakes they observe is players with small bankrolls frantically chasing progressive jackpots. They sit down with $75, bet 5 per spin on a progressive, and then wonder why they are broke in 10 minutes. The math fundamentally does not support that play. You need at least 100 spins worth of bankroll to have any realistic fighting shot at hitting something major. At 5 the spin, that requires a $500 minimum budget. There was a player named Carlos who learned this lesson the expensive way. He saved up $250 for a birthday trip to the casino. He had been watching videos of others hitting massive, progressive jackpots and desperately wanted his shot at glory. He sat down at a megabucks machine, bet 3 per spin, and was completely broke in less than 20 minutes. He didn't hit a single bonus or win anything significant. Just 80 dead spins, and his birthday money was gone. The next month, he returned with another $250. But this time, he performed some research beforehand. He found a medium volatility buffalo machine and bet 1.25 per spin. That disciplined choice gave him a 200 spin runway. He played for 2 full hours, triggered 3 bonus rounds, and walked away with $380. Same starting bankroll, different volatility choice, a completely different outcome. Here is a question for the comments. What is your typical bankroll when you visit the casino? And what category of games do you usually choose to play? I am curious if people are correctly matching their volatility to their budget, or if the majority of you are still making the volatility mismatch mistake. The Players Club leverage. Let's discuss something that consistently shocks me: the high number of people who play slots without ever using their Players Club card. You are literally leaving free, recoverable money sitting on the table. Every single spin you make without your card inserted in the machine is a wasted financial opportunity. Casinos rigorously track your play and dispense rewards, comps, free play credits, meal vouchers, hotel discounts. The more extensively you play, the more you strategically earn, but you earn exactly 0 if your card is not active in the slot machine. Smart players don't just use their card, they use it strategically. Here is how. Before you even initiate your play session, go directly to the Players Club desk and politely inquire about what promotions are currently running that specific day. Casinos constantly run lucrative specials: double points on Tuesdays, triple points for seniors on Wednesdays, or bonus multipliers during specific off-peak hours. These promotions can easily double or even triple the effective value of your play. One regular player named Diane shared her optimized strategy. Every Monday morning, she visits a local casino for their senior day promotion. If you are 55 or older, you receive 5x points between 9 a.m. and noon. She brings 100, plays for 2 hours, and even if she happens to lose the 100, she earns enough points to secure $25 to $40 in free play for her subsequent visit. She is essentially cutting her potential losses by 25 to 40% simply by strategically timing her visits around promotional periods. Another crucial action smart players take is inquiring about tier status. Most players' clubs operate on a tiered system: bronze, silver, gold, platinum. The higher your earned tier, the better your overall perks become: free parking, shorter lines at restaurants, invitations to exclusive VIP events, and significantly higher point multipliers. Here's something most people are unaware of. You can frequently status match between competing casinos. If you are gold tier at Caesars, you can sometimes achieve instant gold tier status at another casino chain simply by presenting them with your card. It absolutely never hurts to ask. Former Players Club representatives confirm that the players who maximize value are not necessarily the biggest spenders. They are the players who possess a deep understanding of the rewards system. They play exclusively during high-value promotions. They diligently redeem points before they expire, and they consistently ask for comp upgrades. Here is a valuable pro tip. If you have been playing for a while and haven't hit anything substantial, politely approach the player's club desk and ask if they can add any bonus play to your account. Sometimes they will freely throw you $10 or $20 in free play just to maintain your goodwill. This is referred to as discretionary comping, and it is entirely worth asking for. Worst case scenario, they decline. Best case scenario, you just secured free money. A player named Gerald figured out something brilliant about the Players Club system. His local casino grants you 1 point for every $5 you cycle through a machine, and 100 points equals $1 in free play. That calculates to a 0.2% return. Not spectacular, but it systematically accumulates. Gerald calculated that if he played $10,000 through the machines over the course of a month, he would earn $20 in guaranteed free play. So, he made a pact with himself. He would visit the casino 4 times a month, playing $2,500 each visit using proper bankroll management. And at the end of the month, he was guaranteed to have that $20 in free play waiting for him, regardless of whether he won or lost on the machines themselves. Some months, he would walk away up $500. Some months he would be down $200. But every single month he had that guaranteed 20 in free play waiting. Over the course of a year, that's 240 in free money that he wouldn't have received if he wasn't using his card religiously. That $240 essentially covered 3 or 4 entire casino trips. How many of you actually use your player's card every single time you play? And how many of you currently have points sitting on your account that you have never redeemed? Be honest in the comments, stop loss and win goals. This is arguably the most profoundly important strategy presented in this entire video, and it is the one most people completely and tragically ignore. Setting rigid stop-loss limits and concrete win goals. If you fail to establish these parameters, you are gambling emotionally, not strategically. Here is the operational framework. Before you even sit down at any machine, you must decisively determine 2 crucial numbers: your stop-loss limit and your win goal number. Let's assume you are sitting down with $100. Your initial stop-loss is the full $100. That is self-evident. If you lose the full 100, you are finished. You walk away immediately. No ATM visits. No dipping into tomorrow's budget. That session is over. But here is the critical part people constantly mess up: the win goal. Let's assume your designated win goal is to double your money. You aim to convert that $100 starting stake into $200. The very second you reach that target of $200, you cash out your chips. Period. Absolutely no exceptions are allowed. You must resist the urge to continue playing, thinking you can effortlessly turn $200 into $400. You secure the profit and exit the game. Former casino hosts state that this is the single biggest behavioral difference between consistent winners and perpetual losers. Winners possess the severe discipline required to walk away while they are ahead. Losers continually convince themselves, just a few more spins, I'm clearly on a hot streak. Then they give back the entire profit plus more. Here is a real scenario that unfolds on the casino floor every single day. A player sits down with 100, they hit a great bonus and run their balance up to $250. They are feeling euphoric and excited. The dopamine is surging. Instead of cashing out, they keep playing. 30 minutes later, they are back down to $50. Now, they are furious and frustrated. They are desperately trying to get back to even. Another 30 minutes passes, and they are broke. They lost the original 100 plus, the $150 profit they had secured. That represents a total $250 swing from winning to losing, all because they lacked a defined win goal. Smart players employ a modified version of this strategy. It is called the 50% lock. Here's how it functions. Let's say you started with $100 and you successfully run it up to $200. Instead of cashing out completely, you immediately lock away $50. That's your original $100 stake plus half of the accumulated profit. Now, you continue playing only with the remaining $50. If you happen to lose that $50, fine. You still walk away with the $50 locked away. You profited $50 for the session. Win. If you manage to run that $50 up to $100 or more, excellent. You lock away another portion and continue playing with the new profit. This strategic method allows you to cautiously chase bigger wins while rigorously protecting your established gains. One veteran player named Raymond, who has been visiting casinos for 20 years, stated this observation. I've had nights where I turned $200 into $1,500, and I've had nights where I turned $200 into absolutely zero. The nights I walked away with money were always the nights I set a win goal before I started. The nights I went broke were always the nights I told myself, I'll just play until I feel like stopping. Feelings lie. Numbers don't. Raymond meticulously keeps a journal of every casino visit, date, starting bankroll, ending bankroll, and whether he strictly adhered to his win goal. Over 5 years, he logged 120 casino trips. The 80 trips where he set and rigorously honored a win goal, he walked away a winner 65% of the time. The 40 trips where he failed to set a win goal, he walked away a winner only 22% of the time. Same player, same games, same casino. The only difference was having a structured plan and the discipline to adhere to it. Here is your next challenge. The next time you play, before you even sit down, write down 2 numbers on your phone: stop loss and win goal. Commit fully to them. Then come back and tell me in the comments if you stuck to it. And if you did stick to it, did you walk away a winner? Now, let's talk about something that sounds like voodoo, but is actually firmly rooted in careful observation. Reading machine behavior. I am not referring to the mythical hot or cold machines. It is a verifiable fact that every individual spin is governed by a random number generator, RNG, and machine holds no memory of the previous 5 spins. That's a fact. But what veteran players do is keenly observe short-term patterns to make more informed decisions about where to commit their bankroll. It's not about predicting a hot machine. It's about you being observant enough to recognize when a machine is currently within a payout cycle versus when it is dead. Here is the observational technique. Before you sit down at any machine, watch its behavior for 2 to 3 minutes. If someone else is actively playing it, even better. Watch their spins. Are they hitting frequent, small, low-value wins? Are they triggering bonuses? Or are they enduring 15, 20, or 30 spins with absolutely zero action? If the machine is consistently hitting frequent small wins, that constitutes a green light. Sit down after they leave and give it a serious try. If the machine is ice cold, somebody has been feeding it $50 and hasn't won a single dime, that is a huge red flag. Do not sit down next. Move on immediately. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but each spin is entirely random. It doesn't matter what just happened. You are technically correct. But here's the nuance. Machines move through variance cycles. They tend to pay out in distinct clusters and then go quiet for a period. You cannot predict precisely when the cycle will shift, but you can certainly observe where the cycle currently resides. Former slot technicians say this: while it is unequivocally true that every spin is independent, machines absolutely do go through streaks, not because they are programmed to, but simply because that is how true randomness behaves. If you flip a coin 1,000 times, you will see stretches where heads comes up 8 times in a row. That does not mean the coin is rigged. It's just variance in action. So, smart players use acute observation to strategically position themselves in favorable variance. They are not trying to predict the future. They are just trying to rigorously avoid sitting down during a long dead stretch. Here's another point of observation. Experienced players watch for bonus frequency. If you have been playing a machine for 100 spins and you have not triggered a single bonus round, and the game is known for triggering bonuses every 80 to 150 spins, you are statistically getting closer to the sweet spot. That does not guarantee the next 50 spins will hit a bonus, but statistically, you are now operating within the zone where it is likely to occur. This is where the test small strategy becomes crucial. If you sit down at a machine and it consumes $20 in under 10 spins with zero action, no small wins, no near misses, nothing, get up immediately. Do not waste another dollar. That machine is actively unfriendly right now. Move on and find one that is showing responsiveness. On the flip side, if you sit down and within the first $20 you hit 2 or 3 small wins and you feel like the machine is responsive and engaging, that is when you settle in and give it a real shot. You are not chasing losses. You are strategically positioning yourself where the action is already happening. A player named Helen, who has been playing slots for 30 years, has a simple, ironclad rule. She calls it the $30 test. She sits down with $30, plays minimum bet for about 20 to 30 spins. If she gets any action whatsoever, even just frequent small wins of 10 or 20 cents, she stays and strategically bumps up her bet. If those $30 disappear with nothing, not even small wins, she moves immediately. She refuses to give the machine a second chance. She claims this strategy has saved her thousands of dollars over the years. Instead of stubbornly grinding on dead machines, hoping they will eventually turn around, she cuts her losses quick and efficiently finds machines that are actually giving action. The $30 test costs her a small amount per machine, but it helps her avoid the catastrophic big losses that come from stubbornly remaining at a cold machine. Here is a question. Have you ever sat down at a machine, immediately felt like it was dead, but kept playing anyway, desperately hoping it would turn around? How much money did you lose before you finally gave up? Share your story in the comments. Avoiding common traps. Let's conclude this by addressing the traps that financially kill most casual players. These are the behavioral mistakes that invariably turn winning sessions into losing ones. Rigorously avoid these, and you will automatically be strategically ahead of 90% of the people on the casino floor. Trap number 1, chasing losses. This is the financial disaster. You lose $100, so you impulsively pull out another 100s, trying to win back the first $100. Then you lose that too. Now you are down $200 and you are angry, so you pull out even more. This is a death spiral, and it is precisely how people escalate from losing a little to losing a life-changing amount. The fix is simple and brutal. When you hit your predetermined stop-loss limit, you stop, walk away, and come back another day. One losing session does not define your ability, but turning one losing session into 3 or 4 by chasing is how you end up broke. Trap number 2, playing while tilted. Tilt is a term commonly used in poker, but it perfectly applies to slots too. It means playing while intensely emotional, frustrated, angry, desperate, or overconfident. When you are tilted, you cannot make rational decisions. You bet significantly bigger than you should. You ignore your stop loss. You chase bonuses that are clearly not materializing. If you feel yourself becoming tilted, stand up immediately. Take a mandatory break. Walk outside. Get some fresh air. Clear your head. Come back when you are perfectly calm, or don't come back at all that day. There is absolutely no shame in walking away. Trap number 3, ignoring bankroll limits. You brought $200 specifically to spend on slots, but you also brought $300 budgeted for dinner, the hotel room, and gas to get home. Then you lose the $200 on slots, and you start rationalizing, well, I can skip dinner, I'll just grab fast food. That frees up $50. Then you lose that. I'll use the ATM to replace the dinner money later. Before you fully realize what is happening, you have blown your entire trip budget on slots, and you are driving home broke and miserable. The fix is to physically and mentally separate your play bankroll from your other necessary money. Leave your debit card secured in the hotel room safe. Bring only cash allocated for slots. When the cash is gone, it is gone. You cannot accidentally spend money you do not have immediate physical access to. Trap number 4, believing in systems. Let me be perfectly clear. There is no magical system that can consistently beat the slot machines. No secret betting pattern, no hidden timing strategy. Every spin is determined by a random number generator. The house always maintains an edge. The strategies presented in this video are not about trying to defeat the house edge. They are about expertly managing your money, your time, and your emotions so that you extract maximum entertainment value and walk away a winner more often than before. One last thing. The biggest trap of all is attempting to play slots as a calculated way to make money. Slots are fundamentally designed as entertainment. You are paying for a premium experience. If you happen to walk away with more money than you started with, that should be considered a bonus profit. But if your core mindset is, I need to win $500 tonight to cover my rent, you have already lost the strategic battle. That kind of financial desperation leads inevitably to devastating decisions. Former casino counselors who work with problem gamblers say the warning signs are always consistent. Playing solely to win back losses. Playing with money you absolutely cannot afford to lose. Playing when you are in an emotional state. Lying about the true amount you have lost. If any of these describe your behavior, it is time to immediately step back and seek professional help. Gambling should remain fun, not stressful. Final thoughts. So, let's synthesize all these crucial points together. If your goal is to win more consistently playing slots, you need to begin thinking and acting like a smart, disciplined player. Use the 45-minute session rule to maintain peak focus. Split your bankroll into 4 distinct pockets to prevent going bust in one single sitting. Maximize bonus rounds by betting strategically and rigorously, protecting your gains. Play only in the strategically right locations on the casino floor. Precisely match your machine volatility to your available bankroll. Systematically leverage your player's club card and all available promotions. Set uncompromising stop loss and win goals before you initiate play. Observe machine behavior and relocate quickly when things turn cold. And crucially, avoid the behavioral traps that routinely turn winners into absolute losers. These are not silly gimmicks. These are the proven, real-world strategies that experienced, successful players employ every single time they step onto a casino floor. And the difference between someone who follows these strategies and someone who just wings it is profound, night and day. The players who win more frequently are not luckier. They are not following some magical betting pattern. They are simply more disciplined. They possess a clear plan. They stick to it faithfully. They manage their money intelligently. They know exactly when to walk away. And they treat every casino visit as entertainment first, with potential profit a secondary outcome. So, here is my final challenge for you. Select 3 strategies from this video. Just 3. Try them rigorously on your very next casino visit. Then come back and let me know in the comments which specific ones worked for you. Did the 45-minute rule help you stay sharp? Did the Four-Pocket Method save you from an early bust? Did the location strategy lead you to demonstrably better machines? And before you go, I want to hear your thoughts. Which of these 7 strategies surprised you the most? Which one are you most enthusiastic to try immediately? Drop it in the comments right now. If this video successfully changed the way you think about playing slots, hit that like button right now. Subscribe for more insider casino strategies and share this video with your casino crew. The more people playing smart, the better time everyone will ultimately have. Remember, the house always possesses an edge, but smart players know exactly how to stretch their dollar, maximize their entertainment, and walk away winners far more often. Play smart, stay disciplined, and I will see you at the slots. Good luck out there.